Hey, this is Brian. Welcome to my video. Today I'll be showing you how to create a graph from your own data set starting in Excel. So here I've got a data set that I've generated doing undergraduate research. So really the first step you need to take is uploading your data into the R console. And starting off, if your data set looks anything like mine does here, you're going to have to do some pretty serious reorganization of all this data. Otherwise, it's really not going to be able to function within R. Now, I've already done this, and I can show you basically what I've done, just so you get a look at what it looks like before. You can see a lot of levels of structure. A lot of these numbers are generated from preset formulas as well. It's really just going to be a mess if you try to directly upload this into R. Trust me, I tried it. But once you reorganize it, it should look something like this, where you have one header for each value type, and then just a really well-organized data going all the way down. This will work within R, and it'll work very effectively. You won't need to do really anything at all. So in order to be able to upload this into R, you're going to have to save it as a CSV file. So you're going to want to go to File, Save As, give it a name. You're going to want to save it within a folder, and I'll show you why in a second. And then select CSV under File Format. You can click Save, Replace. I've done this a lot already. And then you can go ahead, open up your R console, and you're ready to upload your data set into the program. Now, to do this, you want to go up to the top, select this miscellaneous drop-down menu, and change your working directory. Right. Now this is going to pull up a menu. You're going to want to find that folder that you saved your data set in. You can see mine here. I've got a bunch of different data sets in here, including the one I just saved. And you can see none of them are actually accessible directly, but instead you open up the folder, and then within that folder you select one of your data sets to work with, or more than one. So I'm going to go ahead and select Open. Now what you need to do is read in that file. So what you're going to, how to do that is give your data set a name. I'm going to just call mine data. I find it's helpful to just do something short. You might have to type it a few times, especially if you're in the process of learning. You might have to type some things quite a few times. So I generally pick the shortest names I can. So once give it a name, give it an equal sign, and then the read.csv command. Do parentheses and quotations, and then you're going to enter in the specific file name of your data set. So mine was proj.csv. Alright, now once I hit enter, it looks like nothing's happened, but in reality, your data set has been read into R, and you can actually start working with it from this point on. First thing I like to do when I first upload a data set into R is to look at the structure and confirm that I was able to organize it in Excel in a functional manner so that I can actually use it with minimal issues. So to do that, you're going to do the structure command, which is just str, parentheses, and then the name you just gave your data set in the line above. So mine is data. That's all you have to do. You press enter, and it will show you the structure of your data set. So you can see here on the left, you have all of these different headers from your Excel sheet have now become the titles of your vectors in R, or basically your different variables you can work with. Here on the right is just a sampling of some of the values corresponding to each of these variables. Really from here, you are ready to graph. As long as you have the two variables you desire in there, you can go straight ahead and create a plot. So to do this, you will simply type plot, parentheses, and basically you're going to put the name of your the name of the variable you want on the x-axis first, comma, then the name of the variable you want on your y-axis. But given the fact that you could potentially have multiple data sets open in R at one time, you're going to want to first signify which data set you're working with. So you're going to do that by typing in the name of your data set. Mine's just data again. Then you're going to want to do the $sign command, and this is so you can link your data set with the variable you want. So I'm going to do data $sign. Then on my x-axis, I want segment dot type. Now it's very important. You can see up here with the variable names, they all have sort of periods in where the spaces were, sometimes one, sometimes two. It's very important that you copy it down exactly as you see it. Otherwise, it's really not going to work. It's going to tell you you've got an error. So I've got segment type on the x-axis. Now I want to select my y-axis. I'm going to do data $sign. I want h3p.mm2. This will allow me to look at the stem cell densities in these three different segment types I have. Now when I press enter, I've created a box and a whisker graph. The type of plot you create entirely depends on the variables you're using. Had I used another numerical variable on the x-axis here, you would have seen the generation of a scatter plot instead of a box graph. Now the only thing really left to do, if you so wish, is to add titles to this. So all you have to do this is title, parentheses. Now there's three different titles you can add. You can add your main title up here, and then your two axis titles. Now to add the main title, you simply type main space equals parentheses, and then just type in whatever you want to be your title. So I'm going to do h3p millimeters squared by segment type. We do comma, and then to change your x-axis title, you will do xlab equals quotes segment type, comma, ylab equals h3p per millimeter squared. Then you hit enter, and you've got titles on your two axes and above the graph as well. So that is the short and simple way that you can create a graph in R, starting with your own data set in Excel.